Today we're going to talk about health journeys.
Yes.
Actually, focus on the most recent health journey, and then maybe we'll talk about other health journeys in other episodes.
Yeah.
And so the most recent health journey is started last year. And it's almost been a year.
Yeah.
Last November, it's October, so it's been 11 months or maybe 10 months.
Yeah.
And I had health issues. And so trying to give the background to that is we were heavily like go.
Yeah.
Like we were helping with a church plant. We were hosting some events or like small groups. So we had our own small group and we helped host and facilitate another small group. And when we say small group, ours was small. Like what, 8 people? 6 to 8 people.
Yeah.
Then every so often, maybe once a month or once every 2 months, we would host a small group of 30 people or 20 to 30 people.
20. Yeah.
And between that and a lot of volunteering at church and also helping with a church plant, ordering and doing a lot of things, coordinating. And
Well, let's just say we were very busy. We didn't take time for ourselves to really rest. We were just like, from the time we got up till the time we went to bed, it was just, there was something that we were doing. And it was a lot of mental thinking, physical stress, and it was just burnout.
Yeah, and I wouldn't give blame to that. I think it's about setting boundaries.
It was us.
We take full responsibility. It's a learning process because it's fulfilling, right? We enjoy doing that.
Yes.
Even though our body, we have to know that it needs rest. And that's why intentional rest is important. Practicing Sabbath is a commandment. And intentional rest is a value, right?
Yeah.
And so fast forward, so we went to our very first mission trip. And we were in Cagayan de Oro in Mindanao, Philippines. And we went to a nearby province, Dahilayan, right? And it was an amazing experience. It was a medical mission. And this group from our church, they've been going every year to different regions of the Philippines, and they provide medical mission. And what's important is sharing the gospel.
Yeah. So through the use of medical care, dental and things like that, physically working on people, giving out medications, it's a way to bring the people in so that they can share the gospel. And then we are still providing the service, whether they do or don't accept Christ at the end, they still receive their service and medication.
Yes. So I know a lot of people that look at from the outside. They're like, wait, are you forcing conversions here? And absolutely, it's not.
No.
It's free choice, but they're very intentional on how they do it. And when we say we have a team. So we, from the U.S., we had 12, maybe. I think 12. We could double check. And then we had about 5 more doctors as well. And so we have MDs, doctors, nurse practitioners, dentists, right?
Yes.
And so we are giving them quality care.
Yeah.
We order the medication over there, thousands of dollars worth, which goes a long ways when you purchase over there. And we've served over 1,000 people. And so when you hear these numbers, because every time they would come back, they said, we came back from a medical mission, hundreds of people got saved, or over 1,000 people get saved. It's hard to believe. Was that okay, everybody raise your hand, say this prayer with me. And so the process basically was every point of contact, they had an opportunity to share the gospel. So whether they're standing in line to register, whether they're talking to the doctor, whether they go to the pharmacy, whether they're on their break. And so in order for us, so we work the pharmacy.
Yes.
In order
Yes.
for us to distribute the medicine, they would have to go through counseling first. And this counseling is really where they get the one-on-one talks. And by the end, they would really know if they would really want to have a relationship with Christ if they don't have one already, or if they already have one, or if they don't want to have that relationship. And so amazing food, amazing people, beautiful place. Mindanao
Yes.
is a very beautiful place.
Yeah.
Very safe. And we also had armed guards, right? Military, from the military and the local police, law enforcement, which also made it extra safe. But it actually felt very safe.
Yeah, I think in the area that we were at and just having a little extra measure, it didn't, I mean, of course, like I'm not going to go out by myself, but it was more of a secluded area because it was more of like resort and, it was kind of,
Dahilayan, even CDO.
yeah.
Yeah. Because I've been to other parts of the Philippines, Manila, Ilocos, Isabela. And so it's really good. It's really good over there. And so during the trip, I started having digestive issues.
Yeah.
And a lot of it is, in some places, we did not have running water. So harder to use the restroom. And, when you're in that situation, you have to hydrate, but then that would require you to go to the restroom without running water. Have to wash your hands, and when you eat, exchange. And so I'm not sure where or how or what.
Yeah.
Their series, never drink the ice, never drink the water. But I did one night, I was fevering really bad. I was having chills. And I also had diarrhea. And it was hard. I was like day 3 or something, and it was like, man, this is a waste. Come all the way around the world, can't even complete what I need to do. So that day was a Sunday. So we had Sunday service, sermon and worship, and we already told them like, hey, I might sit out for today. Everybody's like, yeah, you should sit out. Actually, I didn't even want to go to Sunday service because I was like, I'm going to rest. I'm not feeling well. And they said, at least try to make it out to Sunday service. And so I made it out, and, they explained, they prayed for me. Granted, we're on a medical mission, right? So you have all the doctors, you have all the medicine, and they take my temperature, and it was normal.
Yeah. And prior to that, though, we were using essential oils throughout the night. And I was praying throughout the night and consistently putting oils. I don't know if you even remember that.
I don't remember. I think I was also feeling really, because I wasn't feeling very well. Like eating too, right? I was like, we were at this nice restaurant. I couldn't really eat or order. And even for some of my supplements, like I usually take greens, and I was like, I don't feel good even taking my own thing. Like my body is not able to keep things down, right? And so, but other people also experience similar things. And it's hard to discern, but could be spiritual. And definitely there is, we all attribute all the healing to our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ.
Yes. Amen.
Because after that day, I was sustained till the end of the trip.
Yeah.
And somebody else had a similar experience. And she almost tapped out on the last day, and it was like, I'm not. She also was experiencing gastro issues and other things. But then she was able to make it through the day.
Yeah.
And it was like almost like we were sustained to that day. And then afterwards, like people just crashed out.
Yeah.
Or they just kind of R&R and recovered. So I was okay. I didn't have any fever. My bowel movement was normal again, normal-ish, I guess. And we were just on our way. But it seemed like then we went to Japan.
So the sequence was that we would go on the mission trip.
Yes.
Then we would go to Japan because we were in the Philippines and it's just right there. It's just a hop and a skip away.
Yes.
Right. So we would take a week in Japan, have extra R&R.
Yes.
And then go to Hawaii because why not? You know, we're right there too. For another week of R&R, visit family because we were not planning on going to Hawaii that year for Christmas because we were basically so close to Thanksgiving. By the time we would get back, it would be past Thanksgiving already. And so we weren't going to go to Hawaii for Christmas on our annual Christmas trip. So we decided, okay, 1 week there and then come back here at the beginning of December.
Yeah. And so
that was the sequence.
And then we would have been back and ready to help with one of the services.
Yeah, and
church
which
services.
was another from there, couple days rest, and then go again.
And so the lesson there is like you have your own plans.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm going to squeeze all of this
I
in.
can do it.
And then after this, I'll go back and then I will help set up the service.
Yeah.
And it didn't happen.
No.
So ended up, first day in Japan was great. Like,
Yep, it was fine.
Yeah, we're back in Japan. You know, getting used to, acclimated to things. Yeah. And then I started feeling cold because the weather. And then after...
It was like the second day.
Second day, we were at Disneyland.
Yep.
And it was cold and I was just not feeling good. And then by the time I got back to the hotel, I was already fevering and just tired and maybe just dehydrated. And I go to the restroom and then all of a sudden, like I open my eyes and all I hear is, Holan! Holan! And then I was like, what? It's like, why are you yelling? Like, I was just sleeping. But apparently I thought I closed my eyes.
No.
But Cassie said my eyes was open the whole time.
Yeah. And it's still emotional because it's not even a year yet, but it was one of those scary moments where you're in another country. You don't know how to use the hotel phone. So I learned this the hard way, but, you know, make sure you know how to use the hotel phone, the room phone, to call down to the, you know, the front desk. Okay. Important lesson. And, you know, just one of the things like I thought he was having a seizure or something, because prior to that, he was tapping out at the train station. Like he needed to sit, like he couldn't even, like even making it out of Disneyland was really hard, you know, and, like we had to ask the cast members, can we cut through this way? Because for us to walk all the way back to the entrance, like, you know, would have been so far. And, you know, he really wasn't doing well at that point. And so then to keep seeing him going back and forth to the bathroom for like several hours, you know, it's just like, no, something's not right. And to see him so weak, it was, you know, again, and I, just that time I was like, you know what? I think I need to follow him to the restroom because, you know, I don't know, like, what's going on. He was so exhausted and, you know, obviously expelling a lot of waste and whatever. And so at that point, when he just blacked out, it was like he just went limp. His eyes were open and it was like he was snoring, like with his mouth open. And I was like, what is happening? You know, and at that moment, because he just went limp, and that was one of my biggest fears, was that he would like pass out in the bathroom and hit his head, you know, in the tiny little bathroom. But that was just really scary. And I was like, how do I use the phone? Like I was full like panic attack. And when I came back, I just held him in my arms and I was just praying that he would wake up, because I didn't know what was happening. And, you know, then he just woke up, you know, it was probably like, he was probably out for like a minute. It seemed longer than that, but it was probably about a minute, no longer than 2. And at that point it was like, no, like we need to do something about this. Like, I don't know what's happening. And so that's when the journey to find a doctor began. And thankfully, we have friends that really helped us out, that lived close by
Yeah.
to where we were staying.
We tend to travel to places where we know quite a few people. Mm-hmm. And in Tokyo, my father has lived there. And we have business over there as well. And some of our colleagues have become close friends.
Yeah.
And so at that moment, we were saying, like, you know what? I think we should go see a doctor. Mm-hmm. Which is interesting because I never say that.
Yeah.
Especially in a foreign country.
Yes.
But something inside me says, you know, this is not normal. We need to check this out. Mm-hmm. Obviously, Cassie went to the store to get some Pocari Sweat.
We thought it was just
dehydrations and everything. And we went to the clinic, because that's what's popular in Japan. You go to the clinic, and our friend explained everything in Japanese to the doctor. And the doctor kind of was like, after hearing her, she's like, you have to go to the hospital to get tests. And like, even if you were to run things, we would end up going there anyway. So we went to Shinagawa Hospital, and they ran a lot of tests. And they did that COVID one and the flu, because I think it was at that time, by that time, I was already getting respiratory issues as well. So I was dealing with the diarrhea. Mm-hmm. I was dealing with respiratory issues. I don't know what the proper term, passed out, fainted. It happened again when I was waiting in the lobby for the taxi. Mm-hmm. And we never take the taxi in Japan. And so that's new. But it was like, it's just way easier. I'm too weak. And waiting, all of a sudden, and you could feel it happen. And it's just like, I blanked out.
Yeah.
Like, and this time, the person, the receptionist also noticed that, and she looked freaked out by the time I came awake again.
Yeah. It was because like, she was just like, I don't know, like, do we call in for an ambulance? Or, you know, because at that point, no, we were waiting for our room. Because we had to extend our...
Oh, yes. We
were supposed to go home by this point, and we had to extend our stay. And so because we had to do that, thankfully, you know, they had another room available, but we had to change rooms.
Yeah.
And so while we were waiting for the room to be cleaned and, you know, ready,
Yes.
we had to wait in the lobby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyways... We go to Shinagawa Hospital, get the test, all the tests, which is great, right? And when you're going through that, you're not thinking about how much this is going to cost. You're just like, whatever it is, I just need to stabilize, get ready. Really glad that they hooked me up to an IV, because no matter how much Pocari Sweat and water, I feel like I wasn't keeping up.
No.
It definitely wasn't keeping up. Mind you, I think at that point I already stopped eating too.
Yeah.
So I don't know what was coming out of me. It's just bile or something, just flowing in and out. And my body was just trying to clear something out. And so fortunately our friend was there. And and we also had translators too, electronic translators, but
Well, because then that's also then your dad.
and so basically basically the doctor was like, well, it's not COVID, it's not the flu. We ran some tests,
Yeah.
but it seems like you're just going through something. Drink lots of fluids. We'll give you some prescriptions for some antibiotics and fever medication or Tylenol. After using the Google Translate, I was like, oh, they just gave us Tylenol. Like, so, and then I would purchase a thermometer over there. And I was like, tomorrow I'm just going to stay in the hotel and just rest all day, drink lots of fluids,
We'll be
take
good.
the medication. And it was like, I don't know if my fever is going down. It's going down like 0.1 or 0.2 degrees. I feel a little bit better, but I don't really feel better. And then by the time that day passed and it became Friday, I was like, I don't think I feel better. I think it's getting worse. I'm going to go back to the hospital. Mind you, this was Friday. They expected us to follow up on Monday or Tuesday.
Yeah.
I think Tuesday. They said follow up next week, Monday or Tuesday. But I came in early on Friday. I was like, I was just here a couple days ago.
Yeah.
I don't feel good, basically. And so waited for the doctor again, different doctor this time. Looks at the records and he says, he kind of looks at it and he's just like, your liver is not functioning. I was like, what? Mind you, this is all translating. Like the friend is like, yeah, he says your liver is not functioning. Liver enzymes are highly elevated. And I was like, in my limited knowledge is like, then I shouldn't be taking any medication like Tylenol or anything they gave me. And sure enough, the doctor told me like, yeah, what did what happened? You were prescribed, like, don't take any of that. Do you want to admit yourself? And at that moment I was like, yes, because one, I wanted the IV because I need liquids, and two, I have no clue what's going on. And I still to this day think like, what would have happened if I waited till Tuesday?
Right.
Because here they are with their records saying it came back saying my liver enzymes are highly elevated, not functioning. And they gave me some medication that's not good for that exacerbates it and makes it worse.
Yeah.
And I had to go to the hospital to find that out. But fortunately, we just see that as a blessing in disguise. It could have been a lot worse. So being prompted to go and get admitted. I was also experiencing other effects as well. I was having a lot of hives, which they feel like it's either body fighting through infection or fighting itself.
Well, but also the medication that they had given you, because we were going through a debate of, do you have a penicillin allergy?
So it could be because it was a penicillin-based antibiotic. And this is where it's like you have to stand firm. I don't know if I've ever reacted to penicillin, but I do know that my mother, both my parents have confirmed a penicillin reaction. And I think I have to double check. I'm not sure if my brother has, but because of that, we just assumed that my brother and I have a penicillin.
I called your dad too. I was like, do you know if Holan has an allergy to this? And it was never confirmed. Like you had never taken it to confirm that there was an allergy. So we just assumed that it was a yes.
And I remember one doctor in the U.S., because my brother told us, I was with my brother when he went to see a doctor, and the doctor was like, he's like, what allergies do you have? And my brother said, oh, penicillin allergy. And the doctor gave him an attitude like, are you sure you have a penicillin allergy? Everybody that says they have a penicillin allergy really don't. That was like an old thing. So that stuck to me. So I'm like, oh, maybe I don't have a penicillin allergy. Moving forward, I don't want to take any penicillin.
It would just be safer not to
And now that after my father also explained that he had a really bad reaction, like you got to know that kind of stuff. And that could have added to the whole mess of things,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So I was admitted. You have a choice in Japan. It's not like the U.S. It is universal health care, but I'm not a citizen. So everything is going to be billed.
Yes.
But you get a choice. You can share your room with others, or you can get your own room, and that will cost an additional $100 US. Well,
With the exchange rate,
maybe $80 US.
yeah.
Around $80 US a night. It's like a hotel room.
Yeah. And it was like one of those things that we were given the options, and, I just have to make the decisions because I'm the one coherent. And I was like, no, like, we need our own room, and, doing the math and all the calculations, looking at it being like, okay, yeah, like, let's just
do it.
Let's just do
we have
it.
some savings. We'll have to worry about it later.
Yeah.
Got the own room. Fortunately, thank God, we got our own room. I was coughing, not feeling well.
Yeah.
But imagine a room of other people that are coughing, not feeling well. And space is limited in Tokyo because it's real estate is very expensive. And you could see in the other room is just basically divided by a shower curtain.
Yeah. And it was just like 4 beds and just a curtain. Like, and I get now why. So they gave me rules. Like, I couldn't visit like during a certain time. And so I couldn't come till like 3 p.m. and I had to leave by 6. Now I can see, that being in a shared room, like why that would be. But I think because we had a private room, and I don't know, maybe the nurses just had a little more sympathy for the situation. But like I was able to stay in the room for a longer time and was not kicked out.
Yep. So request your own room.
Yeah.
If you need to, I wish I could share a little bit more because, my brother's been in and out of hospitals all over New York and in Hawaii and in Vegas, and even the crowded one. Like one time we were in NYU hospital in New York, and that was crowded. Even the Hawaii emergency room is crowded. People share rooms, but there's still space between the beds. Like in Tokyo, there's no space. So we had our own room.
Yeah.
Or I had my own room.
You had your own room.
No thrills and frills. Again, because of my going in and out of hospitals, seeing family members in different hospitals in different states. This is universal health care. Very basic. They're not going to spend money like making it like a luxurious resort.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter. We got a lot of tests. And they couldn't really give me any medication.
Yeah.
To this day, I don't know what they were giving me. I had it translated. I can't mention what it is. Maybe you get not allowed on YouTube, but I was like, but they gave me this powder, but they were very cautious in how often they would give it to me. They didn't. It's like almost as if I really needed it, they would give it.
Yeah.
But other than that, I wasn't given any medication. I wasn't given any food. And for a while, they didn't even give me a cup of water until only one nurse would. I was like, how do they know I have, because Cassie brought some bottled water, but how do they know I have a bottled water, right? Yeah. And I like my water cold, so like, why can't they give it to me? So anyway, so that was that. And it took a while to I still had fever for a few days. It wasn't going down. By that time, I would say, so we got admitted by Friday, right? Wednesday or Thursday. So that was already about a week of no food. Because I stopped eating on that, so
maybe
timeline.
like Wednesday. Let's just Tuesday.
Yeah, Tuesday. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Admitted Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So that's 8 days.
Yeah.
Tuesday, 9 days, 8, and then Wednesday, by Wednesday, I always say my 5th day of the hospital, but that's 8 days of
Yeah.
no food. By then I was asking questions. I was like,
He was starting to feel a little bit better at this point.
Like,
Yeah.
and I knew I couldn't eat regular food, but I asked like, can I eat a banana? And the nurse is like, I'm going to go ask the doctor. And then the nurse comes back and is like, you can't eat a banana. But we will request for you to have liquid diet. And excited, right? I'm gonna get my food. And so the food in the Japan hospital for restricted liquid diet was, rice soup. I love rice soup. But imagine you
Staple.
get the rice soup and you take out the rice, all the solid parts, and whatever you left, that's your nutrients. That was the stuff. And I was like, oh, why can't I just eat a banana? But they were afraid that even that would be too much for me.
They said that we could bring him a banana shake or drink, like a banana flavored drink. And it was like, no, that's not what he wants.
Anyways, it slowly got to regular food. That was Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Yeah, because the goal was because he started feeling better by Wednesday, which would have been the 1 week mark since he wasn't feeling well. And then the goal was that we would get him out by Friday.
Yeah.
Discharge him on Friday. So, the doctor was like, do you want a discharge plan? And we were like, yeah. So
by then I was getting also anxious. Like, I don't want to, it's too long already, you know, and I hope, we don't extend it any longer because Cassie also had extended a stay at the hotel she was staying at.
Yeah.
And so what had happened too was they did all these tests. We did stool sample.
Which I don't think we ever got results for that.
Maybe, I don't know.
don't think
got
so.
CT scan because I told them like, could be anything. Like I was traveling overseas, it could be parasites, it could be hepatitis, and they tested for those,
Yeah.
It wasn't
It was
it
not.
wasn't the major hepatitis, those ABC, right? And this doctor was like, it's not any of that. Like the doctor was very confident. He's like, have you heard of Epstein-Barr? And so in the US, we call it kissing disease or mono, right? He said, I think it's EBV. I think it's Epstein-Barr. Mind you, that test takes a few days.
Yeah.
So on Thursday, that was the day that he was going to get the results. And he was so confident. But when he walked in the room, I already knew by the way he was walking, looking, that he didn't figure it out. Because I was in the hospital for a week. We ran a ton of tests.
Yeah.
And he had to explain to me, it's like, you don't have Epstein-Barr. That's not what's causing this. Yeah. He says I did have markers, which means I've had it in the past. So I have the antibodies. But definitely not what's going on. And that just kind of concludes that. I was like, well, we did all the tests they thought. I am getting better, so I'm not going to worry about that now.
Well, and the main thing was that they were also just really watching your liver too, to make sure that the numbers were going down and not staying elevated. Because there was one point where they did the second test and it was higher than the first test.
Yes.
So I think the first test that they did at the very beginning, when the doctor didn't tell you the results of that test, and then when they retested it, it was like way higher. So then it was like, oh my gosh, like,
getting worse.
It's getting worse. And I think that was probably also one of the moments where it was like, no, stay in the hospital. And then, but that was one of those things where they just kept checking those markers. And so as it started to come down, then it was a little bit more of a
I could
relief,
get discharged.
and once it was, I don't think you were fully recovered at that point, but the doctor was confident that you just keep,
I could go get care.
You could go back to the States.
Get back to the States and get care when I'm there. So, which, mind you, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
And so when we're looking at the medical records with the doctors in the States, it was like, still wasn't clear. So I still had to test for that, for my liver function. And so, going through that, people ask you those questions, right? Like liver, you all normally associate that with like, hey, are you drinking a lot? Like, I don't drink. I don't drink. Like, it's like college days, but that's been how many years, right? Like, we tend to gravitate towards less toxins, right? No drugs, and it was a lot of those type of things. But Cassie was doing research on livers. Like, it's gonna take you a few months,
At least 6 months to a year. And that was according to Google.
Dr.
And
Google.
what the medical sites on Google said.
Yeah, which, they say don't look at Google, but nobody's giving us answers. So,
Yeah.
and I didn't actually feel that way. I was like, I'm getting better. My fever is better.
The fever broke.
And I kind of went all out where I was like, let's go eat.
And did we eat? Mm-hmm.
And then let's go to Disneyland. Mind you, we still rented out a wheelchair.
Yeah, because the amount of weight that he lost, the amount of muscle, I have to say.
Yeah, I lost a lot of weight, a lot of muscle. It was like probably 20 pounds.
Yeah.
In that. I didn't measure myself back then, but when I was in Hawaii, it was like, oh, this is 20 pounds I've lost from before my trip to after. So within a 2-3 week period.
Yeah.
And so, but yeah, I was very weak. Even the airport question, like, do you need a wheelchair? They always do this at Tokyo because my brother also he requests wheelchair because of his condition. And when they look at you because of your age or whatever, it's like, do you really need a wheelchair? Tokyo, if you need a wheelchair, request a wheelchair, stand firm. Because I was like, maybe, and good thing Cassie was there to stand firm. And I was like, yeah, there's no way I could have walked this. I am so tired. And so that was, we went home.
Yeah.
I was recovered fever-wise. And I thought
So we went to Hawaii.
We went to Hawaii. Mind you, we already extended our stay in Japan.
Like about a week and a half.
Yeah, we already missed Thanksgiving.
You were admitted on Thanksgiving.
It was already December in Hawaii. We said we're not going to spend the Christmas. We already missed the event in Las Vegas, the church service that we're supposed to volunteer at. And then we said, you know what, we might as well just stay with family. If we fly back to Vegas, to have that support of your family around you, whether it's food or just
care and that community of love and,
Yeah. So we decided to stay there and then fly back to Vegas in January. So we spent maybe 4 weeks in Hawaii.
Yeah.
And it was not very eventful because I slept a lot.
Yes.
And I thought I was better. So I said, hey, I'm going to go to a Bible study with my friends. Fortunately, Cassie had the foresight to be like, hey, do you need me to drive you? I was like, okay. But even just sitting and talking, and by the time because it was in the evening, after an hour, I just started feeling like I can't even stay up for just talking.
Well, plus the jet lag and all of that too.
And so just getting back. And so that was the ordeal, but it didn't stop there. I'm looking at our time right now, but I'm not sure if we're going to break this to part 2, but we have another part to it.
Yeah.
So we'll take a break for now because there's part 2. The health journey is not over.